Hi everybody. Now I want to share a little bit of my story with you and how I got where I am today. I was born in Bulgaria, which is a small country in Eastern Europe. When I was growing up, my parents didn't really let me have dogs in the house, but I spent a lot of my free time on the streets interacting with the stray dogs in the neighborhood. That was a very invaluable experience for me, and I learned a lot, but most importantly, I believe this was the time that I got really hooked into dog training and dogs overall. Eventually, as I grew up, I was able to own my own dog finally. It was a female collie, and I started to explore the different dog sports and opportunities that they were out there. Back in Bulgaria, there was not that much going on. Bulgaria was a communist country, so we were kind of separated from the Western countries. The only competitions that we could do were some form of Russian military-style dog training competitions. So for a few years I did that, and I was very successful. I won pretty much every competition that I entered. I got even more interested, but I realized that staying in Bulgaria, everything kind of dead ends. There was no evolution for me, there was no progression. So in the name of dogs and dog training, I decided that I'm gonna get out of Bulgaria and move somewhere in Western Europe. But it was not just as easy as pack your bags and get out. Bulgaria at the time was a communist country, so we were very restricted. There was it really wasn't possible to just go somewhere. What I did, I had to escape the country. I took a little bit of a risk. I moved to Belgium. I started to work there as an electrician, and meanwhile, I started to explore all the different dog training clubs and different dog sports. I got introduced to Belgian ring, Schutzhund, what is now known as the IGP sport. Of course, I got really into it, even more so than ever before. I realized that I wanted to become a professional dog trainer. But back at that time in Europe, Bulgaria or Belgium or any other country in Europe, to say that you want to be a professional dog trainer was something unheard of. People would be like, yeah, you can train dogs, but you still need your real job. But from different friends and dog trainers, I started to hear that there is an opportunities in United States that you can actually really make a living from professionally training dogs. And that became an obsession. I started to do some more research. Ultimately, I took a plane and I ended up in San Francisco. I became a guide dog instructor. I worked there for about 5 years. It was one of the very important moments in my life because that was the very first time actually I became a professional dog trainer. I was making living of training dogs, something that was very unheard of from where I was coming from. As I was working at the guide dogs, I also continued to do dog sports. That was really my passion. Working at guide dogs in a way was very restricting with my time, so I couldn't do what I really wanted to do as far as the competition dogs. But I learned a ton about training dogs while I worked there. What happened next is I decided that I need to somehow find some more free time so I can follow my passion of the dog competitions. And I switched jobs. I took a job as an animal behaviorist at the San Francisco SPCA. And San Francisco SPCA at the time just became the first no-kill shelter in the country and in the whole world actually. My job, my responsibility as an animal behaviorist was to evaluate and accept dogs, rehabilitate them, and then place them into their new homes. It was a very new chapter and a very different, exciting experience for me. At the same time, at the SPCA, I also designed a program for dog trainers, something similar to what I'm doing now, but in a very lower scale. But I already had that idea that I have something to teach, something to give. Next, as I was really competing, I started to be very successful. A lot of people noticed And when they see me train or when they see me compete, they notice the difference between how my dogs and me interact and how the rest of the trainers do. People started to sign up for private lessons. I was starting to get invitations for seminars and workshops around the world. Became super busy. It was very difficult to work at the SPCA and try to satisfy all the demand for knowledge from dog trainers. It became very difficult for me, so I decided that now finally it's time to get on my own and be professional dog trainer, have my own business. That was really, from a kid, what I was dreaming to accomplish, and it was happening. It was one of the best times that I really felt so good about chasing my dream. I started to be very successful. I really, I would give seminars and workshops almost twice a month, anywhere in the world. I would compete with my own dogs. I breed Malinois. I own a Malinois kennel under the name of Vitusha. And I've been breeding Malinois since 1989. So every dog that I competed with was bred, raised, and trained by me, using my own ideas, my own philosophies and concepts about how dogs learn and what is important to them. I put all that to test, competing against everybody in the country and in the world. I ended up winning 14 national championships and 2 world championships. It really validated my knowledge. Now the demand became even bigger. It started to be, at one point, a mission of mine to really teach everybody that had the interest. But going every month to give seminars or write a book or make videos wasn't sufficient to give you the knowledge that I had. This is how the Training Without Conflict certification program came about. And I have to tell you that even though I have won all these championships, I have taken all this risk to move from country to country and chase that knowledge and become 2-time world champion. The most rewarding part of all up to today in my whole career is that I have that opportunity now to share and teach you what I know. And what I know is very valuable and very different, and it's super exciting for me that I am able to give back to everybody and share my knowledge.